Fasting benefits. Water fast, intermittent fast, fasting mimicking diets. There are so many types of fasting out there. Are there real scientific benefits on fasting? Let's find out. Although fasting has been seen throughout the last centuries as something mystical, something from the quack naturalists, now it has been proven over and over again that fasting is actually an ancient healing biological adaptation from nature that every living organism on the planet has to heal itself. So fungi fast, plants fast, animals fast. From the beginning, it's coeval to life itself. That means it began with life millions and millions and millions of years ago. And still within the human constitution, the capacity to fast, to regenerate itself. Therefore, we have to understand that fasting is a biological adaptation to survive famine, but also at the same time to provide renewal of cells, renewal of the organism. The organism starts to get healthier over and over and over again. So almost a century ago, 1945, there was research showing that rats doing intermittent fasting could live up to 20% more. And the growth of tumors, the growth of cancer in these rats were slowed when they did intermittent fasting. Nowadays, we have research from Walter Longo, the most famous biologist to study fasting. He has shown in many scientific papers in the main scientific journals in the world, like Cell, that a periodic diet that mimics fasting, a fasting mimicking diet as he calls, promotes multiple system regeneration, enhanced cognitive performance and health span. That means the organism lives not just longer, but healthier through all these years and improves your capacity to think, to learn, to be intelligent, and also your brain doesn't degenerate as you age, and the fasting actually can help to regenerate your organs, renew your organs, so you're aging slower and you're more like a younger person when you're in advanced age. So they have shown in yeast, in mice, and also in humans, showing that FMD, a diet that mimics fasting, is not even a water fast, can actually reduce the incidence of diabetes, cancer, heart disease, aging, what we call biomarkers, the risk factors, the cholesterol, the triglycerides, the blood pressure, the glycemia, the insulinemia, all these factors that we measure inside of the blood of humans, we can see a better profile, a decrease in these numbers that are correlated with longevity. So fasting actually helps your health in scientific proven basis. So as this research from Walter Longo as well shows that if you restrict calories, if you restrict protein, if you restrict certain foods in your diet, and even if you fast, water fast for a day or maybe a few days, alternate day fasting as they call in laboratory animals, they have an increase in not just in lifespan, in terms of years of age in this planet, but in health span, years of functionality. Fasting induces regeneration of the stem cells. They are the juvenile cells, the cells that actually produce any kind of other cells in our bodies. So we need stem cells. We need to maintain those while we age so we can repair better, rejuvenate better. So doesn't matter how you look at it, but if you do a complete fast or if you just reduce calories and protein, you end up improving the quality of life. But for sure, you cannot restrict calories too much for too long. It's hard for people. That's why water fasting shuts down your hunger while you are water fasting. You don't feel hunger because the hydroxybutyrate, the ketones in your body, actually cut down your hunger. So if you try to eat just a little, it's way more harder, as research has shown, than if you just try to fast completely. But I'm not suggesting you to fast completely. That would be dangerous to do by yourself. I only suggest fasting under medical supervision. Therefore, I highly recommend you to read Hygienic Fasting Nature Surgery, my main book on fasting, and with more than 200 pages, dozens of scientific references, is available on Amazon, on print on demand, and Kindle. So it's a must read before you find an institution to fast. And also I give suggestions of the best institutions in the world, medically supervised, that I recommend and that I trust. If you like the channel, don't forget, subscribe, comment below, give it a thumbs up, share the video, and hit the bell for notifications, and read the Hygienic Fasting Nature Surgery. The link is in the description. If you don't know too much about fasting and you're curious about what fasting can heal, I would suggest you to click on the description and click on the link on the cards above, so you can see more videos about fasting for autoimmune diseases, fasting for 40 days that I already did 40 days of water fast, and a lot of the fasting mimicking diet and Walter Longo. A lot of these details must be understood before you want to participate in a fast. So Luigi Fontana, another really famous research on fasting and raw food diets and longevity, he has shown that severe protein restriction is more important than calorie restriction for reducing the levels of IGF-1, the insulin-like growth factor 1, that is a hormone that in higher quantities in your blood promotes cancer and other chronic diseases. So it's not just fasting by itself, but how much protein you eat. My books on diets, that I have 10 books published here in Portuguese here in Brazil, are not available yet on Amazon, but you can see on the cards and in the description the videos that I suggest, and I show what to eat so you can eat a lot of volume, don't feel hungry, but still maintain a low protein intake so you can live longer and better. Rafael De Cabo, another really famous researcher, and his team has shown that in 2010, almost 70% of the adult population in the USA was obese or overweight, and 1 in every 3 adults suffered from hypertension. That is like insane. And people must understand that fasting is a biological adaptation, famine, to starvation, to a lack of food. So it was normal to overindulge, to overfeed, and to go into fasting mode, because nature is that way. Sometimes it has a lot of food, sometimes it has no food. So it's how a lot of primitive tribes still live this way until today. And they don't show signs of degeneration, neurological degeneration, physical, cancer, heart disease, even in older age. So also fasting is the best scientifically proven form to reduce your blood pressure. Yes, this research from Goldhammer from the True North Health Center, the best clinic in the world, it shows that fasting can actually reduce hypertension better than anything else in the planet. So according to Mark P. Madsen, one of the most famous scientists on fasting and the brain, he has shown that fasting induces BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So fasting actually improves your brain and reduces the neurological diseases as Alzheimer, Parkinson, multiple sclerosis, and a lot of other neurological diseases. And reduces your temperature, reduces your body fat, reduces your weight, reduces your blood pressure, reduces your heart rate, reduces your glycemia, it reduces the insulin and IGF-1, reduces your homocysteine, increases your HDL, your good cholesterol, and increases also the ketones in your body. So only beneficial physiological adaptations for you to be healthier. And that doesn't mean that you should go fasting by yourself. You need medical attention, supervision, follow up, but don't go try to do fasting by yourself, but at least get informed. Here in the channel we have several videos on fasting, because fasting actually saved my life 17 years ago, and I want to share with you this powerful, simple intervention that is actually free, as long as you know what you're doing and have medical attention to guide you through. So Walter Longo has shown that fasting in cancer is also beneficial, reducing the side effects of chemotherapy. Walter Longo has shown that fasting also induces beta cell regeneration. Yes, he actually shown that he could almost cure type 1 diabetes in mice, and it can actually help heal the cells that produce the insulin in diabetic humans. This research from Michael Mosley, the medical doctor that did the commentary for the London BBC, has shown that fasting and caloric restriction helps the liver, helps the blood vessels, helps the adipose tissue, helps the pancreas cells that produce insulin, and it helps the muscles. One of the first intermittent fasting studies almost 20 years ago has shown that lab animals and even humans nowadays have better health when they eat less frequently than their frequently eating counterparts. That means they can eat the same kind of meals, the same amount of meals, but just to be out with a smaller eating window, you have better health. So you have less cortisol, less the stress hormone, better cardiovascular and blood profiles. You have better insulin sensitivity, changes in genes, and even improvements in your immune system. So what are the fasting benefits? Many. Fasting helps your physiology. Fasting helps to protect against diseases, to make you function better as an organism, and to maintain yourself younger for longer periods of time. Fasting doesn't have any side effects, and it can actually improve your health for free, because actually fasting is not actually fasting, in my humble opinion. It's just to eat sanely, just to eat normally, because people eating 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day, that is the unnormal, that is the absurd, that's the bizarre, that's the strange thing. Because for millennia, humans have been eating the same way we call a fasting mimicking diet nowadays, or intermittent fasting nowadays. So intermittent fasting is the norm in nature. So we have to see that as the pattern to follow. So if you like the video, don't forget to share, comment below, give it a thumbs up, follow the channel, and subscribe for more information. And if you want my help as a clinical nutritionist, I can help you in consultations. I run retreats, and we have 10 books published and online courses as well. Read The Hygienic Fasting. The link's here in the description. Don't miss this book. It's the best book on fasting out there.